Hello, everyone. All right. Hi. So I'm just going to start saying hi as you guys hop on. I'm going to give it some time for you to jump on. Happy Sunday. Thank you for joining me. I have my cat at my feet. Whew, so if you guys are on live, hello. If you're watching the recording, hello. Whatever you're doing, thank you so much. Oh my goodness, here he comes. He wants to get in on the good vibes too. This is Eclipse. So welcome. Thank you for joining. I really wanted people to be able to either watch this and enjoy this live or watch the recording if that's what they felt more comfortable with or what they had the time for, because I know everyone's got different schedules. So however you are viewing this, thank you for getting on. I'm really, really excited for tonight, and I'm really excited for Unleash, and I'm going to give everyone a second. So as you are getting on now, what I want you to do is start to set some intentions for the call. Grab a notebook, grab some pens, grab a glass of water. I have my water here. You can grab a glass of wine or a cup of tea. Get comfortable, get into like a good high vibey space. You might want to light some candles. Make sure that you're cozy, okay? I wore some bright red lipstick tonight, again, just like I did in my photo shoot, because I really wanted, I want you to feel the confidence that I have now that I didn't have in the past, which is what I created Unleash for, right? So my hopes for you by the end of this masterclass is that you're going to be willing to step into your power and that you'll take control of what you can control and do something about where you feel stuck. Okay, so my hopes are that you'll feel like you're on a path towards doing something, like wearing bright red lipstick or big ass hoop earrings, or the cheetah crop top like the one I wore in my photo shoot, right? But that's really just a physical representation of the changes that you have the ability to make inside of you. And what I want is for you to have the confidence that you can do whatever it is that you want, like whether it has to do with what you wear or who you love or what you say or how you make money. That's really what I want you to gain from all of this. So tonight, I want you to stay open-minded, be ready to learn, and be ready to welcome in as much positive energy and good vibes as you can, okay? So what we're gonna cover tonight really has the power to change your life if you take it and remember to implement it, and not just sit here and listen and then go on and do nothing with what you've learned. So get excited and get ready, and don't just take what you learn here and do nothing with it. Start taking action in your life with the new information that you have, and start working towards better and more for yourself, because you all freaking deserve that so much. So for those of you who don't know my story, I wanted to start by giving you a little bit of a background about myself. My name is Lily. I live in New Jersey and I'm 27. I know that people are sometimes curious about those little details. I went to school to become a teacher, and I ran a before and after care program, and then I taught kindergarten for a couple of years, and I started working on my own body and mindset and helping other people discover what they were capable of while I was discovering what I was capable of myself. And after about a year and a half of building like a health and fitness coaching business on the side, I quit teaching in order to pursue it full time because I realized I freaking loved it and I was super passionate about it. And I've recently begun transitioning into mindset coaching because I always felt that was the most important part of my health journey success, and it was what I became the most passionate about. So when I started realizing the power and control I had over my thoughts, which I usually just blamed on like my circumstances and the people around me, I was able to control my entire life, and it has turned me into a completely different person who wants different things and gets excited about different things. So 3 to 4 years ago, I was overweight and I was teaching, so I was working a job that I liked. It was good enough, but I wasn't super passionate about it. My cat's over there knocking things over. I didn't think I had a passion at all. I thought teaching was as good as it was going to get for me, and that's what I was just meant to be doing because I was good enough at it. I relied on external validation all of the time to feel good, through boyfriends and men and through friends inviting me places. That really helped lift me up to a place instead of having that feeling for myself. And I was always accepting mediocrity, right? I thought that it was normal the way, because everyone says like, be realistic, or, when you drive past like a big house and instead of thinking like, oh, I can't wait until I work hard enough to get something like that, they say things like, ugh, must be nice. Like, wow, must be nice to live that life, right? I used to say things like that all the time, and I used to think things like that all the time. I was the person who just accepted what life was and didn't put too much thought into bettering it or creating more, because my life was pretty good, if I'm being honest, right? I always had friends, boyfriends, a supportive family, a college education. I had jobs. It was average and regular and fine, right? As good as what I thought it could get. I thought mediocrity was normal and healthy until I started paying attention to people who had more. Okay. So people who wanted more and worked towards it. So my whole life I'd watched people like that, and I kind of felt jealous, not because I didn't think that I couldn't work towards what they were working towards, but I literally didn't think that I was the type of person who did that sort of thing. I just thought that this was it for me. And for some reason, I can't fully explain that connection that I wasn't making. Like, why did I think that I couldn't want more, or I didn't want more? But my life, I figured it was just good enough. Like, why would I ask for more? I had always focused on what I had to do. So finishing school, then going back to school, and dealing with the stress of teaching observations and bosses and being watched and judged all the time. And I had to deal with the fact that life was hard, that things were hard, and that I was tired, right? I liked to get pity for that or attention for it by complaining, because I felt like if I could show that things were difficult, it like gave me an excuse to stay where I was at, right? Instead of striving for more, because I couldn't possibly work towards more, work towards living a happier, like fuller, more passionate, exciting life, because I was so busy taking care of all of my ho-hum, regular, everyday things. And they were hard and they were stressful. And I made sure that myself and the people around me recognized that through my complaints. So what was really going on was that I was afraid to admit I didn't think I had a passion. I didn't think that I was passionate about anything. I grew up not playing sports, and I had always been creative, and I knew I wanted to teach in some capacity, but I didn't dance. I didn't like do horseback riding. And the question, like, what are your hobbies? During those icebreaker games in like college and school and stuff used to send me into complete panic mode, because I'm like, I don't know. Like, I like to read, sort of, like, I don't know. I watched people around me, like my friends and family, doing things that they loved. And I didn't think I had anything like that. Even when it came to teaching, when I got my first classroom, I thought like, this is going to be it. This is going to be the moment I've been waiting for. And it was great. I mean, it was an accomplishment, but it wasn't passion. Okay. So for some people, teaching is passion. Teaching kindergarten is their passion. And I liked it, but it wasn't mine. So I was still stuck thinking that I had none of that. Right. But out there in the world of social media, I started paying attention, and there were these people who were asking for more, and they were actually getting it. And once I started paying attention, I realized they weren't any different from me at all, right? So many of them had stories that were so similar to mine. And if they could desire more for their lives, then I was like, well, maybe I can too. Right? And it took a while for me to realize it and for me to figure it out. But slowly I started to realize that I was a passionate person. I was passionate as hell about becoming better and about growth. And once I learned how to get that growth for myself, I became super passionate about passing it on and teaching it to others. And so once I stopped being afraid of what people would think of me, and once I stopped hiding my new mindset from the world and from my friends and family, and I just stepped into what I knew was working for me and owned the shit out of it, my life was changed in like the grandest, greatest way possible. So in order for me to step into the new me, though, I had to let go of some pieces of my life that just weren't serving me anymore, and were only holding me back, before I could really dive into pushing like for more for myself. So I started to unleash myself from the pieces that were doing that to me, that were holding me back. And so I've, over the past few years, I've unleashed myself from the belief that someone else's love and acceptance defines me. And I've unleashed from the idea that I'm always going to be heavy. And I've unleashed from working all day for someone else. And I've unleashed myself from the thought that I don't have a passion, that I don't have anything to offer, and that I'm not strong and capable and worthy. I've unleashed myself from the idea that I'm too big to be sexy and confident. And I've unleashed myself from toxic friendships, and from friendships where I was the toxic one, because that is a thing that happens, right? I've unleashed myself from relationships that I wanted so badly to work out, but that really weren't serving me and that weren't moving me forward, that had already given me what they were meant to give me. I've unleashed myself from those things. I've unleashed myself from the stories that I told myself about how my mediocre life was good enough. And I allowed myself to start to recognize that like good enough is not fucking good enough for me anymore. Okay. Each one of us has the potential to have the best and to be the best. And the only reason we don't have it and we aren't acting that way is because we're in our own freaking way. Okay. So sometimes unleashing is about letting go of the things that are trying to leave you. And sometimes it's about removing yourself from things that you don't want to leave you. Right. I'm going to let my cat out because he's scratching right now. I'll be right back. But sometimes it's about unleashing control from things that don't always go your way, like cats interrupting our masterclass here. So once you're unleashed, though, you can begin to step into your power and all of the potential that you have to create a freaking like killer, amazing, passion-filled life. And so I started to help people change their lives by learning to live with more positive mindsets. And up until now, that's all had to do with weight loss and learning to love your body. Up until this point, I mean, I've helped hundreds of women see success in those areas, but shifts in mindset was always most rewarding to me to see that in people. And it was the most incredible thing to watch. So since I changed my life in so many other ways than just weight loss with my mindset shifts and the different mindset strategies I started to implement, I wanted to start offering that to others. And that is why I finally created Unleash. So I think that one of the most important things to realize when you're headed towards changing your life is all the things you're really capable of, right? We are all human beings. So we have so much power. Look at all the incredible things that have like happened in history through people on social media, celebrities. People are doing charity work. They are living out their dreams every single day. And the difference between the people who change their lives and live their dreams and the people who stay stuck and unhappy and accept mediocrity forever is just literally the way that we perceive ourselves. So we can choose to just be human beings and just be, or we can recognize that we're meant to be human becomings. So the idea of a human being is primitive and basic, right? Being implies letting life happen to you, and becoming means that everything happens for you. So it's really just a difference in perspective. Human beings go through the motions, right? They go to work, they deal with people, they complain about people, they, eat something so that they're not hungry and then complain about their weight, and they watch Netflix because they're tired. They go to sleep, they wake up the next day, they start all over, they complain. And there's good mixed in here and there, right? But that's not where their focus is. It's on what's hard and what sucks. And they just try to do what's easy because all they're trying to do is be. And being is simple. It's mediocre and it's average and it's decent, right? But human becomings are what we are meant to be. Okay. And the point is that all of you are at, since you're here in this masterclass right now, is you want to be a human becoming. You're ready for that. You want more for yourself. You want better for yourself. You're taking advantage of growth. You don't just want to go through the motions. You want to live fully. You want to go to work and find, a reason to be positive about the people and the situations you're dealing with there. I'm so sorry if you can still hear my cat. He's scratching to come back in again, of course. And even if those situations are frustrating, you're finding a reason to be positive about them, right? You want to do and find things that you're passionate about and never settle for just good enough, or you want to stop settling for just good enough. You want to allow every moment, good or bad, to be a teachable one and one that grows you instead of slows you. And dialing into information like that opens up your eyes to this line of thinking. And that's the first step that you have to take, right? Dialing into this kind of stuff and taking advantage of this type of learning and this type of growth. So once you unleash the things that don't serve you and walk away from the stories and the limiting beliefs that you've held onto like your whole life and that were holding you back, once you start becoming, it doesn't mean that things are always going to be easy. So I think that there's this misconception that positive people are always smiling because their lives are perfect and easy, and that's not how it is, right? So we're all human and we all have setbacks and heartbreaks and pain. But when you choose to be a human becoming, you can use that pain and you can use those struggles and those hard times to become something and use them as a lesson for growth rather than as an excuse to stay stuck exactly where you are. Okay. So manifestation, this is like a big buzzword lately, right? And it's something that I started playing around with a lot when I started shifting into my new life. I learned, cat, I learned that it was okay to ask for more and that it wasn't greedy or selfish or unreasonable. And once I learned that I never had to settle, I started opening myself up to the concept of, the universe and spirituality and the idea that there are forces bigger than us out there to help guide us. And if we're able to tune into that, and it's amazing the stuff that I've realized, like once we're able to tune in. So I used to think that it was magic, and so I just didn't believe in it at all. But I realized I had been manifesting just enough for my whole life. Okay, so here's my example. I have a lot of bills, right? As most of us do. And during times when money was really tight, even when I'd start to get a little bit worried, I would remind myself, like, well, it always works out in the end, right? Because it always did work out in the end. And I truly always expected it to work out because it always did. And so usually that would mean just making it by, right? It would mean like a lot of stress or some fees with the bank, but it would always turn out that I had just enough to fix any money situation that came my way. So your story with money might not be the same as mine, but see if you can think of something in your life that you always just expect to go right because it always does, right? I want you to start recognizing that it's not that we expect it to go right, that it does go right. It's that it does go right because we expect it to. So we're always thinking of it backwards. We think that the action needs to occur before the thought. For example, the money needs to always work out before I expect it to always work out. But in reality, we need to expect it to work out in order for it to work out. So that's the very basics of the law of attraction and manifestation. So if you guys have seen the movie The Secret, that's a huge popular movie about the law of attraction and all of that stuff. But the one problem with that is that The Secret implies that you just kind of put what you want out into the universe and then you sit back and you relax and you wait for it to be delivered to you. But that's not how it works. What happens is you put the idea out into the universe and then ideas are going to flow to you for actions to take. And you can either choose to take the actions or you can choose to continue to sit there. And that is why people think that they're asking for things, but then they're not being open and they're not listening to the action steps that they're being guided to take. And that's why the things don't come to them, right? So the order that it has to go in is we think that we have to have the things so that we can do the things and then we can be the person. So for example, we think we have to have the money before we can build like a big giant business and then we can be, a wealthy, happy, confident woman. Or we think we have to have the weight loss, right? In order, before we can go do things like go to parties and start dating again. And then we can be a happy, confident woman who like takes no shit and is ready for anything. But no, it's so backwards. And that's how everyone lives their lives. And that's kind of why we stay stuck because we have to embody those people that we want to be first and foremost, okay? So if you want to build like a big $1 million business, ask yourself, what does a person who runs a giant successful business do? What things does she say? How does she think? How does she solve problems that come her way? How does she deal with those problems? If you want to lose weight and gain confidence, maybe to get back out in the dating world and find the love of your life, you have to ask yourself, what would the best, most confident, self-aware, hot as hell version of you do when she wakes up every day? How would she respond to texts? What would her morning routine look like? Would she complain about things or would she find a way to solve them, right? So there's logic behind the law of attraction, of course. So if you start acting like that version of yourself, the people around you are going to be more likely to help you become that person. Things are going to start working out for you in that direction because you've decided that that's who you are. And also your mind does not like being out of sync with reality. So when you start convincing yourself that you are that person, you're going to become that person. All right. Reality needs a little time to catch up to our brains, but it does happen and it will happen. You just need to continuously put those vibes out there. You need to continuously expect the best for your life and demand the best for your life and act as if you already have the best for your life. Believe that you're on that right path, that what you want is already yours, and decide that you truly want it and stop allowing excuses, to get in the way and fear to keep you from being who you truly are and what you truly want. And keep you from having the things that you really want to have because you deserve to have it all and you can have it all. All right. So I'm not sure why you showed up to this masterclass today, why you decided to watch the replay of it. Maybe you're wondering if you've been accepting way less than you could be for life. Maybe you saw my posts in the past few weeks about settling for mediocrity and it struck a chord with you. Maybe you realized that good enough, like, shouldn't be good enough for you anymore. Maybe you want to be happier, you want to feel more passionate. Maybe you have goals for yourself for the things that you want to do and the person you want to be, and you just have had no idea where to start. And you're realizing that your mind is the thing that's holding you back and that it's so important for you to get yourself in the right headspace. So maybe you were just bored and you wanted to see what this kooky girl from Instagram had to say. I don't know, but you're here, right? This topic is amazing and it can transform your freaking life, okay? And I hope you picked up on that tonight, that the law of attraction and manifestation and wanting the things that you want can truly change everything for you, okay? So if you've been on the video up until this point, you have what it takes to excel in getting your shit together. You have what it takes to stop living inside your BS stories. You have the desire and the ability to ask for more and to be fiercely freaking passionate and unapologetically stop settling for the life that you have been settling for, okay? And this is something that you can start right now. So nothing that I shared tonight is like theory or fluff. It's the very, very basics of what got me to where I am now and how I'm continuing to grow. And if something in this masterclass tonight resonated with you, just know that this is just a small sample of what it will be like inside my Unleash program, okay? So you can either sit back and you can continue to wait and you can continue to hope that you figure out how to shift your mindset on your own and live your life out loud and embrace the fierce potential within you by yourself. Or you can save time and you can work with me, right? I've invested in just so many programs and trainings and webinars and books and spent so much time and money in order to get where I am now. And that is all the knowledge that I want to pass on to you in Unleash. So I want you to sit right now, close your eyes if it feels comfortable. And I want you to imagine what it would be like if you didn't have to feel stuck. Imagine if you felt passionate about something. Imagine if you were confident enough to do the thing that you've always wanted to do and who you could be if you stopped settling. Imagine who you could be if you believed that you were capable and worthy of so much more. Imagine what the change in you would look like for your friends and for your family and for your coworkers and for the people who look up to you, right? Imagine what that person would do, what the best version of you would do for the people in your lives. Imagine the difference that you could make in this giant world or even just in your small world, right? If you lived your full potential instead of hiding away out of fear because you're just trying to fit in or because you just think that you should just be realistic. Okay, I want you to imagine that. Okay, so investing has always been hugely impactful for me, and as soon as I commit, the gates open up. The universe knows that I'm serious about what I want and that I'm not messing around anymore, right? And I have a reason to actually show up and to stop telling myself that I want it and actually put in the work and effort to become who I want to become. So actually, one girl, now that I think about it, she started a payment plan for Unleash last week, and the day after she made her first payment, she already started noticing changes in her attitude and the way she was responding to the things happening around her. So she actually messaged me the next day saying that she was about to have a breakdown at work, but that she thought about the fact that that was a choice she could make, and she could either continue living inside like the stress-filled bubble she was in, or she could choose to take deep breaths and find another way to react. This is all before learning any of the mindset shifts and strategies and techniques that she's going to learn and unleash. But because she had invested and she'd made that decision and commitment to herself, her mind is already automatically like looking for ways to make things easier and better for her. And it works instantly, you guys. So some details about Unleash. It's a 4-week program and it starts a week from today. I'm so excited on October 28th. We're going to have a total of 8 trainings and hot seat coaching calls, meaning you can get some personalized attention from me if you choose. You do not have to, but that's always going to be an option. The trainings are going to be live at all different times so that you will always have a chance to catch it live if you want to. And if you don't, like I said, there's always the replay, and I always want you to honor where you're at in regards to making it live or making time for yourself later on. So, however you want to plug in, if you'd rather like binge watch all the trainings at once, if you want to get on live or you want to catch up after work or whatever feels best for you. What's important to me is that you honor where you're at. And no matter what, within the Facebook group, there's always going to be a time for you to ask your questions and share your thoughts and get my opinions and advice and answers to your specific situations. Or if you choose, you can just sit on the sidelines and like soak up what's being put out there. There's no right or wrong way to participate as long as you choose to show up for yourself, okay? So as soon as you enroll, you receive a welcome packet, and there is lots of information, more about how the program will work, a lot about how to celebrate the fact that you just did this for yourself, and there's gonna be 3 pages worth of journal prompts that you can journal on or think about in order to help you like realize what you truly want out of life and how to use this program to your fullest potential, and figure out what you actually want and not just what you feel comfortable accepting for yourself. Okay. So early bird investment ends 24 hours from now. So it'll be around, I'm going to say 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Okay. On Monday, October 22nd. So right now the investment options are a one-time payment of $222 or 2 monthly payments of $117 or 6 weekly payments of $39. And I'd also be happy to work out a plan that works best for you. So like I said, I want to honor where everyone is at, and I'm willing to work with you so that we can make this work for you. So after Monday, the one-time payment is going to be a total of $272, and the 2 monthly payments will be $140. And again, I'm happy to work out any sort of payment plan that's going to work best for you if that's necessary. So once you enroll, I also have an affiliate program, just so you're aware. And if you refer a friend who also decides to sign up for Unleash, you're going to receive $33 cash back from me as a referral bonus. So that's just something to be aware of. And yeah, so I am so freaking pumped. I'm so excited for all of you. I'm so excited for the chance to work with you and watch you grow and watch you change your life and, you know, just the way that you see yourself. And I know the power of what I'm going to teach you is so freaking impactful and so incredible. And the energy of working closely with a group of people who, you know, all want to change their lives and become the best versions of themselves, that's so freaking powerful, okay, and amazing. And I can't wait to watch the version of you that's been waiting to like come out of her shell and unleash herself from you. And you're just going to really freaking change the game for your life. This is going to be one of the most amazing experiences ever. And I like am bursting. I can't wait to share it with you. I'm so, so, so excited. So thank you guys so, so much for hopping on, for listening to the recording, however you joined. Message me as soon as you can about getting in on the early bird investment. And after the early bird ends tomorrow night, you can still message me at any time before the 28th when the doors close and we begin this program. But thank you, thank you, thank you so much for getting on. I cannot wait to hear from you, and I cannot wait to see what this does for your life. All right, good night, guys.